There are some voices that stay with us forever. Even if we never see the actor's face, their voice becomes part of our childhood, our favorite memories, and the stories we love most. For decades, Tom Kane gave life to some of the most iconic animated characters in entertainment history. From the wisdom of Yoda in Star Wars to the loving father figure Professor Utonium in the Powerpuff Girls, his voice became instantly recognizable to fans all over the world. But behind the success and legendary career was a man who faced one of the most heartbreaking battles imaginable. A devastating stroke changed his life forever, taking away the very gift that made him famous. And now, fans around the world are mourning the loss of a true voice acting legend. Today, we take a look at the life, career, health struggles, and tragic death of Tom Kane. Tom Kane was born as Thomas Kane Roberts on April 15, 1962, in Overland Park, Kansas, United States. From a young age, he showed an incredible talent for impressions, storytelling, and performing voices. Family and friends quickly noticed that he could imitate characters and create unique personalities using only his voice. Long before he became famous, Tom was deeply fascinated with cartoons, radio personalities, and movie narration. Unlike many Hollywood stars, Tom Kane built his career quietly through hard work and consistency. He wasn't chasing celebrity fame. Instead, he focused on mastering his craft. And eventually, that dedication turned him into one of the most respected voice actors in the entertainment industry. Tom Kane began working professionally in entertainment during the late 1970s and 80s, before becoming widely known in the 1990s. Voice acting at that time was very different from today. Actors rarely received public recognition, even though their voices were heard everywhere. Tom slowly built his reputation by taking smaller jobs in cartoons, commercials, narration projects, and video games. Producers loved working with him because of his versatility. He could sound heroic, funny, intelligent, terrifying, calm, or emotional within seconds. That incredible range helped him stand out in a highly competitive industry. Everything changed when Tom Kane became involved in major animated series and blockbuster franchises. One of his most beloved roles was Professor Utonium in the Powerpuff Girls. The character was warm, caring, intelligent, and funny, and Tom's voice gave the character genuine heart. Children growing up during the late 1990s and early 2000s instantly recognized his voice. But that was only the beginning. Tom Kane would later become legendary among Star Wars fans. Perhaps his most iconic role was voicing Yoda in multiple Star Wars projects. Taking on a role associated with Frank Oz was an enormous responsibility. Yet Tom Kane managed to honor the original character, while also bringing his own emotional depth and authenticity. He voiced Yoda in Star Wars, The Clone Wars, video games, animated specials, various Lucasfilm productions. Fans praised his performance because he perfectly captured Yoda's wisdom, calmness, and legendary presence. For many younger Star Wars fans, Tom Kane was the voice of Yoda. He also voiced Admiral Akbar and several other Star Wars characters across games and animated projects. His work became deeply connected to the Star Wars universe. Tom Kane's career extended far beyond one franchise. Over the years, he worked on hundreds of projects, including Marvel animated series, Call of Duty games, The Powerpuff Girls, Kim Possible, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, The Wild Thornberrys, Archer, Lego games, Disney attractions. Gamers also knew him as the voice of Takeo in Call of Duty Zombies. His performances brought intensity and emotion to the character, making him a fan favorite in the gaming community. Meanwhile, Disney fans heard his voice regularly through announcements at Walt Disney World. Even people who didn't know his name had heard his voice countless times. That's how influential he truly was. Away from Hollywood, Tom Kane was known as a loving family man. He married Cindy Roberts, and together they built a large family with 9 children. Friends and co-workers often described him as humble, kind, generous, and deeply devoted to his family. Despite his success, he stayed grounded and avoided unnecessary celebrity attention. Fans who met him at conventions frequently talked about how friendly and appreciative he was. He understood how much his characters meant to people, and he treated fans with genuine respect. In late 2020, tragedy struck. Tom Kane suffered a serious left-sided stroke that caused damage to the speech center of his brain. The stroke left him struggling to speak, read, and communicate. For a voice actor, this was an unimaginably cruel situation. According to statements shared by his family, Tom experienced apraxia, a condition that made it extremely difficult for him to form words properly. His daughter explained that he often knew exactly what he wanted to say, but the words became trapped in his mind. Fans across the world were heartbroken by the news. Many people could not believe that one of the greatest voice actors in history had suddenly lost the ability to use his voice. After months of recovery attempts and therapy, the family eventually confirmed that Tom Kane had been forced into early retirement. The damage caused by the stroke was simply too severe. Although he continued fighting and showed determination, returning to professional voice acting became impossible. For fans, the announcement was emotional. Tom Kane had spent decades bringing characters to life. Now, the career he loved had suddenly ended because of a medical tragedy completely beyond his control. Still, supporters around the world continued sending messages, letters, and encouragement to him and his family. The love people had for Tom Kane became incredibly visible during this difficult chapter of his life. In the years following his stroke, Tom focused mainly on recovery and spending time with family. Although his speech remained limited, fans were encouraged whenever small updates appeared online. Many admired his resilience and determination. In 2026, fans became emotional after seeing Tom reunite with fellow Powerpuff Girls cast members during a convention appearance. The reunion reminded everyone how beloved he remained within the animation community. Even after his retirement, his legacy continued growing stronger. On May 18, 2026, reports confirmed that Tom Kane had sadly passed away at the age of 64. At the time of the announcement, representatives confirmed his death but did not publicly reveal an official cause of death. Because of his serious stroke history and long-term health struggles, many fans immediately reflected on the devastating medical condition that changed his life years earlier. Tributes quickly flooded social media from fans, actors, animators, gamers, and Star Wars communities worldwide. People remembered not only his incredible talent, but also his kindness, humility, and dedication to storytelling. Tom Kane leaves behind one of the greatest voice acting legacies in entertainment history. His voice shaped the childhoods of millions of people. Whether someone grew up watching the Powerpuff Girls, playing Call of Duty Zombies, or exploring the Star Wars universe, there's a very good chance Tom Kane was part of those memories. And that is a legacy very few performers ever achieve. Even though his voice is now silent, the characters he created will continue living on for generations. Tom Kane's story is both inspiring and heartbreaking. He spent decades bringing joy to audiences around the world, only to later face a devastating health battle that took away the very talent that made him famous. But despite everything, fans never stopped loving him, and they never will. Rest in peace, Tom Kane. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the legendary characters. And thank you for the voice that defined so many childhoods.